think we're live.
Yay! Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Yes. I was ready. Once in a lifetime, I get it right.
Yep.
That'll be the last time.
Might have to put you back on thumbnails, my friend.
All right.
So I'm getting bogged down.
I gotta do what I gotta do's. Or something like that.
You kind of have the rhythm down anyway, right? So
Get the rhythm.
it's good Photoshop practice, so you don't lose the skills.
One thing you can count on is me learning something and forgetting it.
We talk about it here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the perspective stuff the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, I had Brandon watch those DVDs, and he quit." Like,
It's not that I quit. I just forget. I start doing too many things. So I wouldn't call it quitting. I would
football
say,
season happens, and you're like, "I don't know what drawing is anymore."
oh, that reminds me. I gotta update my fantasy team. Thanks.
Exactly. What's up, Allison? Told you.
I need to. I work on stuff. It's a lot of. I need a lot of
Ditching you.
fine tuning.
You'll get more work done if you're not chatting, Allison. Brandon doesn't have anything to do.
Oh,
What?
that's true.
He really doesn't.
No.
I'm actually thinking about doing something, Allison, where we go over. I did this thing. I don't know if you watched it. It's the one I did with Steven, where we kind of went over a comic book issue and stuff. I'm thinking about doing that. We can kind of go over an issue of something that we really like and dig through it for whatever reason, like artist or something. That'd be something to do once a week or once every other week, I think. You know. So when it comes to just normal chalking, then I just like to complain to Brandon. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Start having meaningful conversations while I draw, and I won't pay attention.
So I'm good for bullshit, is what you're saying.
What's up, Jamie? Hey, what's up, Hunter? Watching out of video, running out of video. Yeah, well, it's not that I've been working; it's that I've been testing various. I don't know what the word was. It technique, Brandon? Was that what we would call this? Would that it? Yeah. It's trying to figure out how I want not just this to work, but how I want to work. So I spent the last couple of days just doing. There's about 16 versions of this stuff, and I've thrown them all away and kind of settled on, the process that I've been working on, and it's do these. This isn't really the roughie. This is like the second, right, Brandon? Let's say like there's a roughie, and then there's this. So, and then directly coloring this and cleaning it up after the fact versus creating perfectly clear lines and then coloring them. So, and then the backgrounds I've tried everything. So I'm settling on right now a single width line background, like what you guys saw, but I wouldn't try a bunch of other stuff. So just a lot of experimentation, and I don't feel the need. I don't think it helps anyone for me to stream that. I tried to start a comic book, but I got burnt out too fast and did maybe a page. You quit after 2 pages? What was it? Battle Chasers issue 10? What? That's okay, Allison. I
Jeez.
think you're well knowledge, so I think like that comic book thing would be a great thing to do. But again, it's just stuff I was talking to Brandon about because it's like gonna have something to talk about that's just not like wonder what's gonna come out with Spider-Man. Looking forward to Spider-Man. I mean, yeah, it's fine, man. I'm not going to the theater, so what do I care? I was having that discussion with Jason on the podcast yesterday, Brandon.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You care about spoilers for Ghostbusters?" I'm like, "Here's the deal. Since I plan on not going to the movie theater for at least another year, spoil away. It's my own fault. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna complain about one spoiler from here on out. Like, I mean, and let's be honest, folks. Spoilers overrated, don't you think, Brandon? Because
A
when
bit.
we were kids, wasn't when you went to school, the only thing kids ever talked about was the coolest parts in a movie.
Yeah.
And then Jaws eats the guy in half. Holy shit! And they blew him up. They blew him up. Oh my god! I gotta go see that movie. Like, you know. And now we're like, don't tell me you blew him up. You ruined the movie. Like, shut up. You know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like I get, you want it to be a surprise, but if you know, who cares? Just chill out. Ridiculous.
Plus, like movies like Ghostbusters. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say, it, but when you watch the trailers and you hear certain things and you see things and put things together, and you kind of, they defeat the bad guys. They kill the ghost. There's maybe a cameo. It's not. It's the same with Spider-Man. Like, spoiler alerts for anybody who don't want to hear this, but you see the trailer for Spider-Man and you see Tom Holland Spider-Man going up against three characters. Two of the villains aren't even looking at him. One gets hit in an opposite direction by something
well, that didn't happen in the trailer they saw. That happened in the
in the
Brazilian
Brazil
trailer,
trailer,
yeah.
but it gets
Which they
around. It
since
gets around.
deleted, by the way, which is hilarious.
Yeah, but I mean, you got three villains coming at Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's only directing himself at one villain. Like, and there's rumors of the other two Spider-Man. Like, come on. And then the scene where he's like,
Did you
I'm
see people have been like photoshopping characters into that spot? They put Deathstroke in there because he's in the first Spider-Man movie. I wouldn't
yeah,
want to fight me either, right?
yeah,
They put him in there. They put a bunch in there. It was hilarious.
yeah, because the internet is undefeated.
I want it to be Spider-Ham.
Yeah, why not? And I mean, like, just on that trailer, just to hammer it home a little bit, like, you got the part where he's like, Octo Octavius is my name, but like, he's in a sewer, but they're in a basement when they go, no, really, what's your name? And you're like, they're obviously talking to another Peter Parker. Like, fuck out of here if you don't realize that type of stuff where it's like, oh, he's in a sewer, but they're talking to somebody in a basement. Who could it
I don't
be?
know. Maybe they aren't. I just the whole thing though is that like I'm just saying like I get we don't want to be spoiled, but it's all a bit overrated. The only thing I absolutely will always show what they say this is a white person's problem, but I'm like screw you guys. It's a rude issue. Is I don't want talking in the fucking theater. Same at home. You know, like movies on, we can shut up. If you want to take a break, fine, but don't be chatting during the movie. It's ridiculous.
Talk next time we go see a movie nonstop.
That's what Brandon does right now. I'm drawing my friend. Oh, yeah. Jaws bites a man in half. Yeah, he eats fucking Quint. Right down the center, bro. Yeah, I didn't pay to hear other people's fucking commentary during a movie theater. I didn't show up for the fucking audience show. So, but whatever. What is it, like? I have a friend who goes, "I'm not watching any of the I don't even watch the trailers. The trailers are spoilers." I'm like, all right. Then he goes to see fucking Dune or no, it was Star Wars, right? They played Rise of the Skywalker. They played the trailer for it right before the movie started, and he was like, what the?" And I'm like, "There you
Yeah.
go, there you go." Which dawned on me. I got to bring this up on the podcast tomorrow, but they put out this prologue for the new Jurassic Park movie that kind of sets up like the
Oh
history
yeah, I
of the
saw.
dinosaurs and shit. And I'm like, they should have done that for the Force Awakens, just like a prologue showing what happened between Jedi and the start of that movie, like outside of the film, not during the film, like a little 5 minute fucking prologue,
Yeah.
or whatever they're doing. Like they could, then when you start the movie, you're caught up on in between. It's 5 minutes,
Yeah.
way cheaper than shooting a whole season of shit. Yeah, they play the trailers now for the movie you're about to see before the movie you're about to see. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. This happens. It's fantastic, right, Brandon?
Oh yeah.
I need this up here. Normally these would all be on one layer, but I did this shit separate, so. Yeah. It's ridiculous. The one I've always hated was them playing commercials for the movie theater that you're in. You know?
Why do you
Don't
need
forget
that?
to watch, fucking Regal movies. I'm like, I'm watching a Regal movie. Play this at the Super Bowl for someone else. Don't play this to the motherfucker sitting in the theater. Or those, what were those ones where they go, "Thank you for watching my movie," and it's just a commercial to buy soda, and it's the stupidest fucking commercial you've ever seen. They're
Yeah.
worse than fucking Hallmark commercials.
Yeah.
There was a Marvel movie. My dad and I saw that showed 5 minutes of Captain America's price for yeah, before the movie started. Yeah, it's hilarious. Thank you for watching my movie. It's not a movie. It's a fucking commercial. People were confused the first time that happened. I remember goes, "Are we in the right movie?" He's arguing with us. "We're in the right film. I don't know what this is. What's going
Yeah.
on here?" Like it's a commercial.
I've
The
had
guy
that
goes,
happen.
"What is that?" I'm like, "The dumbest fucking thing ever. You're not a filmmaker. You made a commercial." Have you ever used Procreate on one of your projects? And if so, what do you think and would you recommend it? Uh, I have. I own them all. Um, I just go back to Photoshop. So, I think if you don't know Photoshop, you would probably really like Procreate. But I've spent the better part of I've been using Photoshop since 1995. So for me, it's just like I just know. I just know the program.
Right.
Perspective tools don't help me. I don't draw anything in exact, perfect lines anyway, so I don't really care. You know. I really can't stand the lasso tool in Procreate personally, and I use the lasso tool to do a lot of my coloring and drawing and stuff. So overlay 50 linear. Trying to figure out. You think I'd have this figured out?
Come on, man.
I experimented too much last night. I don't know what's what. What is what?
Gotta be
That
careful.
it's
Experimenting
because
with artists.
that plaid shirt threw me off. I had to like go. How do I do that? It's a good question. 74% plus black. Okay, 74%. So, but I think Procreate's a great program. I really think it's fantastic with its animation tools. So if you had to make an animatic ever or a storyboard, even if you don't know it, just use Procreate. I would. I don't really care for Photoshop's animation tools at all. So I would endure that. So, but I like a bigger screen too. So Procreate doesn't really help with that because my iPad's fucking. I don't care how big the iPad is. It's not 22 inches. So
Right.
you know. Seriously.
It's creepy when they don't have eyes.
They're gonna have eyes, Brandon.
Yeah, I meant right now. I didn't mean obviously.
You gotta get past it.
Ever. Okay.
Like my fill buttons are mapped to my shortcut keys and everything, so like it's just super fast for me to tap something, contract it, expand it, blah 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 blah. Fill, trap, fill, trap.
It's a trap.
Brandon, see how fast I can really get going. Like,
Yeah, it's especially when I'm trying to take notes, it's a little tough. Rob was helping me with my Spider-Man piece the other night, and he goes so fast. He's like, "You got it?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "You don't got it." I'm like, "No." A little too fast for me.
so
That one guy says, "Looks good, man."
oh thanks. Sorry.
He's in the zone.
I'm just adjusting how I want this to look. Gotta keep the. If this is what you call perfect line art. My whole thing is just trying to use, I was telling before, utilizing the sketch into the art and then just cleaning it up versus trying to make the lines all perfect. And then coloring.
Allison says, I was watching ZU Rangers today. Strangely addictive and just as dumb.
It's the original Power Rangers, I think.
And Hunter says, right, that's why I go over it more to make it look better without making the lines thick. That one guy. I have never been good at inking. Any tips? Any tips on inking, Rob?
Just trace.
Fucking tracer.
It depends on what kind of inking you want to do, man. Like if you want to do a really, really rough sketch and do clean. What is Zeus? I'm gonna have to fucking close. He just keeps sending me shit. I'll deal with this later. It's fucking bloop, 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 bloop. The images of... So, like when I'm doing traditional inks, I tend to just have a rough sketch and I finish the drawing in the ink. I don't trace clean lines.
Oh shit, here's your chance, Rob. Guest 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0 0 0 0 says you want to become famous? Buy followers and views on bigfollows.com.
Oh, no, that's
It's
okay.
time. It's time. We're
Whatever.
gonna be famous. It's finally time.
I like irrelevant. Being irrelevant's fun. What age did I start drawing? It's pretty early in life, man. I remember the first time I ever got in trouble was for taking a paintbrush to my uncle's car. Brandon, are you there? I don't hear Brandon. Brandon dropped out.
Yeah, for some reason I was like, I wonder when he's gonna realize that I just stopped talking. And for some reason it kicked me backstage. It was weird. I'm back.
I didn't start thinking about drawing as a profession though until I've always been drawing though. Just I wasn't a great artist, but it's pretty much all I ever really did. Well, I'm honestly, it's pretty much all I ever did. I wanted to be this or a scientist, but I didn't want to be a real scientist. I wanted to be Peter Venkman. So, because he said he was a scientist, and I wanted to catch ghosts. When I realized that's a movie, I was like, well, then I want to make that. Like, like someone draws Garfield. That seems like a job worth having.
Right.
Yeah, and had newspapers not fallen, I probably would have gotten to comic strips. Honestly.
And now here you are.
Unemployed. We call it in between projects.
There you go. That's the spirit.
Mm-hmm. If you could catch ghosts, it would be. Allison, I think you're missing what I said. Like, I didn't want to be a scientist. I wanted to be Peter Venkman. Like, my buddy's a chemist. I don't worship his. I don't envy his life. I used
Right.
to draw on the back of my math homework test sheet. Yeah. I mean, I like Garfield because of the shape design. I didn't really care about the stories. Yeah. Then I got into Outland and Calvin and Hobbes actually got into last. They didn't really have it in my newspaper, to be honest. So I didn't get to Calvin and Hobbes until 1990, 91, really.
Ellis said I used to draw on the back of my math homework test sheets filled up composition books when I was younger. Hunter says, what's worse, being a scientist or a chemist? Both.
Being a chemist that works at Kinko's and then me making fun of him one night. You went to
Damn.
school to do this? I met my buddy when we were working at Kinko's and he was like, he had graduated from Boston something or other to be a chemist. He's like, well, I'm working on it. I'm in between. I'm like, yeah, no, now you work for me.
Awfully nice of you.
You know me, Brandon. I'm thoughtful.
Oh, yeah. You're a big sweetheart.
I care about the common man or person, the common person,
There you
the
go.
little people, Brandon.
Is that because we're both tall or just
I am taller than you, though.
You are. You are. I'm 6'1" and you're like 6'2", 6'3". So
Yeah. It depends on how I'm feeling.
right, if I'm not hunched, if I don't have the hunch going on.
It depends on the hunch.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, eh.
It was like when I met like Brianna at one of the shows, and she's like, only ever seen me sit up, and then I stand up. She goes, "Oh shit, you're tall." I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm just used to seeing you artists like hunched over at your tables." I'm like, "All right, sorry." I'm a big boy. Hunter's tall too. He says, "I'm tall too. I can relate." There you go.
There you go.
And hey, nothing wrong with all our short kings out there, okay? Nothing wrong. I'm not height shaming. It is fucked up. I'm 6'1" and my little brother is 5'5" at best, I think on a good day. So it does suck for him. Just that, one of us is real tall and the other isn't.
But he's got hair, right?
Yeah, well, he's got it for now, but it looks a little. I'm like, it's
Is he getting the
receding.
Andy?
No, not as bad as the Andy.
Andy's going full Bundy.
Yeah.
Isn't it great?
He does look though like he's still like 16. He's
Andy had
24.
crazy town hair. Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Jamie Johnson says, "Holy crap, you guys are giants. I'm 5'3". I once dated a
I
girl
mean,
who
he could
was.
cosplay as like old OG Wolverine, Brandon.
Oh yeah, and I would be like, I don't know, Sabretooth, I guess, next to him. I dated a girl once
No,
who was
you'd be
4'9". That's short. You're not that short, Jamie. 4'9". That was short. That was. Hunter says my boss hates it when I have to lean down to her. Yeah, people don't like it when you lean. You have to like lean. Like, oh shit! One
Greg
time
Capullo
when
doesn't.
Greg Capullo, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Greg Capullo hates that shit.
Yeah.
He does not. He does not like that. If you ever take a picture of Greg Capullo, Batman, Spawn artist, don't lean down for the picture. He will fucking call you out on it. Hey, don't fucking do that. Don't. I remember him calling somebody. Hey, don't fucking do that. What? Don't lean down. Just stand up straight. All right, sorry, sir. Allison studied astrophysics and computer science, but she wanted to study astronomy. She likes looking at the stars. Oh, wait. The more you study astronomy, the less you look at the stars. Got it. And Allison's 6 foot. Amazon. I'm working on that Electra piece right now. I can't wait to fuck this up.
I say, how's that going for you?
Yeah, it's going. I mean, I was going to work on the Spider-Man, but I kind of want to just step away from it till this weekend or so because we were working on me and Jessica have been working on the trying to get that animation shit right and the movement. So I
How's that
just
working out?
not bad. It's how do I put this? I know it's not exactly where you want it to be, but it's much better than where it was. Like you can definitely see getting the whole rhythm down. It's weird trying to make a 2D object move like an actual realistic or not realistic, but you know what I mean. Add movement and life into a 2D thing, and you've done animation, so you know how. I mean, you know how hard that is. But trying to explain it to other people, I'm like, you know, but it's getting there. We have the idle pose right now where we want to show you, and then we started working on the gun draw type thing, and then we got some questions for you, and she'll go over that with you. But I was like, I opened up the Spider-Man and everything, we went over, and I was like, I'm gonna take a break from that for right now and come back to it. Let's work on the Electra. So that's what I'm doing. Allison says Amazon is a nickname. I have. There you go. Suits. Amazons, show him your fear. I like that part. Hunter, I am not an animator, nor is Rob. Just doing some. There's a program called Spine where you can animate 2D art that kind of looks like if you ever play like.
You can rig 2D art and animate it.
Right. So if you ever played
Like you
like
would a 3D
Rayman
model.
or Unruly Heroes, they use that. So just trying to learn how to do that. But Rob you learned how to do animation back when you were in college though, right? Like animation, like storyboarding type stuff?
Yes, I have.
There you go. And you did not like it.
No, I did not. I knew I wasn't going to like it before I did it. And I remember the last day I had ever had to do it, I'm like, I'm never doing this ever again. And then I took a storyboarding class, and it turned out that was an advanced animation class. They're like, yeah, we just called it storyboarding because we had to come up with something, but it's really the most advanced animation you could do. I'm like, I want the fuck out of this class right now. And they were like, you can't. There's nothing else to do because I had this weird schedule for and it was like my last semester. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. So I literally took 3D models and traced over them and turned it in and got a fucking D. I'm like, I don't care. I just want out this fucking class. I can't. I can't do it.
Yeah. One and done, I always say. I said that once. Allison said she's 6 foot tall and studied martial arts for 25 years. You're like Steven Seagal. I'm not stepping in your dojo.
Staying out of this conversation.
Allison probably whooped my ass.
Yeah, I'm staying out of it, Brandon. You dig your own grave.
I took Taekwondo for like, I don't know, I think 2 years once when I was younger. In between like a soccer season or something, I got to, I think a purple belt. I don't remember. Wasn't very far. Join us next week where Allison fights Brandon in the dojo. One artist enters,
She just
Allison
shoots
leaves.
you. She's like, in all those years, I learned it's better just to have a gun. Boosh,
Right.
dead. Self-defense.
Or just a taser. She just fucking. I'm like, fuck. I'm done.
It's gonna. I don't know. People don't get phased by tasers these days, bro. I think it's because they tase themselves ever since Jackass. They're prepared for the shock now.
All else fails, Allison, just throat punch. Throat punch, throat punch. I don't know who this question's to, but I'm gonna ask Rob. Rob, if you could compare yourself to a famous martial artist, who would that be?
Super Dave.
I would say
Ernest P. Worrell.
Rob is more like Abraham Lincoln, the vampire hunter. Very tall, lanky.
I'm like someone on Shaolin Soccer. Like that's the best you could. Maybe I could get. I would never compare myself to a martial artist. It's ridiculous.
Jamie says the only badass move I have is the mom look. Hey, that works. That'll put some people in their place. Just,
yeah. I can do the crane kick, so Daniel LaRusso. How about that?
There we go. I say I'm like, if you ever watch a movie with a trained bear, that's me. I'm the trained bear. I'm the trained bear that fights in the cage. With a septum piercing, because Rob doesn't like it.
Your business, son.
Allison says, Jeff Speakman. She says she's studied the same style he does and met him a couple of times. I don't know who that is. Hunter's tall, and he has a look of intimidation, but he's a pacifist. I'm a pacifist. I'll pass these fists to you, homie.
Did you just think of that, Brandon?
I did, and it's so dumb, but it's funny. It works. Yeah, it's like someone says, I'm fit, or I'm into fitness. Fitting this pizza in my mouth.
Yeah. Fitna. It's Fitna. That's because we had to make all those stupid T-shirts like several years ago.
Max Zandow says, "Hey Rob, I just saw that you are
Max
live."
Xanadu.
Xanadu.
Hey, what's up, Max? Max is cool.
Am I cool, Rob?
Do you perform in clubs in Turkey? You're a world-renowned performer? No.
No, I don't.
See? Max is cooler than all of us.
I mean, I'm a world-renowned mega potato on this podcast.
That is true. People do know you, Brandon.
I'm
Whether
the
you
other
want
guy.
them to or not.
Right.
I've made certain of it.
That is true. Damn, a lot of sirens going off for a Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I hear them in the background. Just like, all right. Oh shit! Wait, he said my name right. See, so maybe I said it right. Sandow. Wait, did I say it right, or did Rob say it right? Because I said Zandow.
Zandow. Yeah, he said Zandow.
Yeah,
You
that's what
said
I
it
said.
right. Yeah, you said it
Yeah.
right. Jason said it wrong. I got it wrong. So I said it the way Jason said it. I blame
Close
Jason.
enough. Close enough.
Did you get talking shit, Rob? That's he'll cut me off tomorrow.
Right.
I don't know about this.
I'm gonna post a little picture of this Electra on my Instagrammies because no one will care, but I care. I should put the Evanescence song from that Electra movie. Wake me up.
I told you I was gonna be a big. I saw that. I heard that song. I want to say it was a month before it came out. I'm like, this is gonna be a big deal, and he was like, "No, it's not. I don't know. It's stupid." I'm like, "You have no idea."
I already know the name of the song. Is it Bring Me to Life? I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that what it is? Let's see.
it's all "Wake Me Up," "Bring Me to Life." Yeah, "Bring Me to
Okay.
Life." Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome 2003.
I
I'd say
will put.
Tommy looks a little bit like Casey Jones, right, Brandon?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna put that with the song on my Instagram. There we go. Long ways to go. Yeah, Max says Jason says it wrong all the time.
Yeah. He's probably thinking of Olivia Newton-John. Xanadu. Now we know. See, Brandon reads. He doesn't listen, but he reads.
I know words and things.
He doesn't listen.
Not at all.
I need to make certain I really stress this
That is true.
before we start giving him too much credit.
Mhm. Mm.
Yeah, I think it's gonna need the line, Brandon.
Fine.
I don't think it's gonna work. It's gonna blend too much, I think. Yeah, it's from the original Power Rangers. It's Tommy versus Tommy.
Oh, I watched the first episode of the Arcane show.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Really good. I'm going to keep watching it probably later this week when she's not working as much. So, just, it's beautiful to look at. The story's cool. The animation's dope. So, I'm excited for it.
I told you, Battle Chasers, or The Darkness, or Witchblade. It's like anything but League of Legends. No, it's a good story, though. They exceeded the source material, you know?
Yeah.
Those are friends are huge Power Rangers fans, and they keep showing me clips getting into. Wasn't my thing, man. It was my little brother's thing. I'm not doing this out of love. Someone asked me to do it, and they paid me some money to do some of it. But then I get Power Rangers fans who are always like, "It'd be great if you drew it sometime." So I'm throwing down the one fucking time I'll do it. It's basically it. Like, all right, I'll do this, and then I'm done with this stuff. I was raised on Voltron, so like I always felt if Power Rangers had been a cartoon, I probably could have watched it. You know.
All right.
I did like the Japanese sections, like because they actually had production value. I mean, they didn't for Japan, but they did for '90s American. Like it's cheesy, but they actually had smoke and they put I don't know they put effort into the sets. Like when Tommy's being turned into the Green Ranger or whatever, you know, and it's like the Japanese sections look pretty well done. But then you get to the American stuff with Tommy, and it's just like it's in front of a wall with a couple candles. It's like that's the best you could do to match this. It's too cheap.
Yeah.
Too cheap. Too cheap. I like cheap, and then there's too cheap. Too cheap for what they're charging. Yeah. But I like some stupid shit too, so I get it, you know. I don't think Beavis and Butthead is genius. It's stupid. That's my kind of stupid. So this is me drawing the cartoon version.
Animated.
What's the difference, Brandon?
Sounds fancier.
I don't like fancy. It's pro wrestling, not sports entertainment. Right?
There
Fuck
you go.
up. Power Rangers cartoon I've been more into and everything. All right. So
You let me read the comments, sir.
well then read them, Brandon.
I was about to, but you jumped in and then
All
you.
right,
you
all right,
established-
Brandon.
Put some
Read
enthusiasm
it,
in it,
Brandon.
sir.
Read it,
Same
Brandon.
here. Jamie says, same here. If Power Rangers is a cartoon, I'd be more into it and never could get into the show. I like the old cartoons like He-Man, The Power of Grayskull.
Let's be honest, He-Man wasn't a great cartoon.
I never,
Those
never
toys
watched.
were great. The cartoon's not so great. Let's be honest. The guy who taught me how to animate, he worked on He-Man. They were always working in gay jokes in the animation. So if you see some stuff that's pretty gay, it's intentional.
Well, Kevin Smith just worked in one where I saw on the.
Well,
He
that's
posted.
way better than the original cartoons.
Well,
Like people
he
are
just
like, "Oh,
posted one
look,
where
you kids are,
the guy with the
huh?"
metal fist. He's like, you're about to get fisted, or something like that. Kevin Smith's like, yeah, I
It's
worked this joke
hilarious.
in. Hunter says, so in that same subject, Rob, when like say you draw a Sonic commission, which he has, do you get a lot of people asking you to do more Sonic art?
Not really.
Or in general, when you do a commission of one said thing, do you get people saying, "Oh, do this version of it, do this"?
No, when they see me draw Sonic, they go, "It'd be really great if you could draw Luke Skywalker with a hook hand." You know, like, right, Brandon?
Yes, I'm the one who gets a lot of requests, odd requests too. So Rob gets the normal shit. I get the
They go, "Now do
weird
Jack and
stuff.
Daxter, and then do this and do that, and you forgot this character, and you forgot." They always. My favorite is when they say, "I forgot a character."
Right?
I didn't forget. I'm not drawing every fucking character in the world here.
Yeah.
I actually don't like those images that are just walls of characters. I
Yeah.
actually kind of loathe it. I've had to do it a few times. I hate it.
For comic
I've
book
always
covers.
tried, even when I did the fucking Game Informer cover, I tried my hardest to not make it a wall. Like I tried to like scale things up and down and throw in the actual games versus characters.
Right.
To kind of make up for some of it. And some people get it, some people don't.
Allison says Shira was better, but not by much. And whenever I ask for a commission, I generally default to Raven. I posted a Raven. The wife wanted me to draw Raven, so I did.
What is
She's a
that from Teen Titans?
yeah.
Brandon, I actually have a Teen Titans pinup in the San Diego Comic Con souvenir book from 2004, I think, or 5. I can't remember which it is.
Never seen it.
I drew it in black and white with some gray tones.
Ciro Day says perfection. And Jamie says, I like all cartoons, but my first time really wanting to draw was watching The Little Mermaid. I took my sister's makeup and drew the face of the sea witch on paper. My sister was really mad. I messed up her makeup, but I didn't get in trouble, though my mom liked the drawing. That's a long paragraph there, Jamie, for me to
Yeah,
read.
but he shared. You know how I knew I was going to be an artist? Because very early I realized I didn't care about the cartoons. I cared about the openings. The openings were so well animated. Like I like Thundercats the opening, but then I just wouldn't care about the cartoon. Same with Inspector Gadget or Heathcliff and Friends. The Bionic Six, Defenders of the Earth. I like the
Great,
openings. I don't like the actual cartoons.
greatest opening for a cartoon, probably
Thundercats.
Japanese X-Men.
Thundercats. The song in Thundercats is better than the Japanese.
Ah, fair enough.
It's some crazy like heavy metal. We on the moon. Like it's so weird. It's not the X-Men theme. It's not. It's the
Yeah.
Japanese one. So, but Thundercats probably the best. And you know what? A lot of the animators on the Thundercats ended up working at Studio Ghibli.
Oh, nice.
So there's a reason why like
All
it's
right.
so well animated.
Allison looked at my Raven and said, she is so cute. Thanks, Allison. I appreciate it. And Suro says, I want
She
to make
thinks
this.
if she's nice to you, I'll let her back on. Fucking with you.
Suro says, I want to make this type of shading, but every time I mess things up. No, I mean, with the shading with the color, or you mean with how Rob's inking it? With the shading, it's kind of like cell shaded, right? You're kind of just doing one layer of shade
Yeah.
per color. So I mean, if you and this is me just talking out my ass here, but I mean,
okay.
if you know your light source, you go from there.
Does Brandon know his light sources?
I know some of them. I know where they're coming from. I just don't know how
I
they
don't
hit
know where they're
everything
going.
perfectly. Yeah. Sometimes I just don't hit it perfectly. Jamie says, "Oh, I love the Thundercats." And Hunter says the greatest opening I can think of is the Japanese opening to Sailor Moon.
It's cool, but the Thundercats makes you want to fight. It's pretty good. It's better than the actual cartoon.
Dun-dun-dun-dun. Damn it! I don't want to do
The
that.
Turtles cartoon is pretty good too. The opening to it. I never
Oh
cared for the
yeah,
actual cartoon. I didn't actually like the animated Turtles because I read the comic book. I was one of those guys. I didn't like the animated version until the game came out. And since it featured the animated one, I could get into the colored bandanas there. But I was like, "They're all supposed to be red."
right.
I was that guy.
Hunter says the opening to Cowboy Bebop anime, and Allison says Kenshin season 1. Have you watched any of the Netflix live action Cowboy Bebop?
I don't care, Brandon. I told you I didn't care.
I
I kind of got into that commercial, and then when everyone's like, "Nope, no good," I saw a couple clips. I'm like, "No, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. I'm
like
not into
the
this."
you talking about the alleyway clip with the
Yeah.
lady standing over him
I
like
knew when they get to Ed, they were going to do it.
it's
I'm
just
like,
we watched the first episode. Listen, it's it's great looking. They didn't spare any expenses when it came to the ships and the look and the colors and the aesthetic. There's just something about it. I never watched Cowboy Bebop the anime, so I have nothing to refer it to. I know what the anime is. I just don't know anything about the anime. But like the show has a very there's a I don't know how to. There's a rhythm to shows, okay, and the show's rhythm is like, is it supposed to be like a '70s spoof where it's kind of like slower? I don't know. It's just there's a weird rhythm to it that me and Jessica were kind of like. We both were like, well, I guess we could watch another one, but we didn't watch a second episode. We're just like, maybe if there's nothing else later on after Thanksgiving or something. But it didn't like. It wasn't bad, but it didn't make us go like, holy shit, this show is it. So I don't know. Indifferent. And Alice says the anime is amazing. I still got to watch Haiku before I can watch any other anime.
yeah, it's true.
And Ciro says my biggest problem is whenever I try to draw simple, I just put a huge detail into things, so it's difficult to perfect shading. With shading,
Mm.
are you meaning color shading, Ciro, or you mean like just how Rob put the black ink behind the face and the hair to push the face
It
forward?
means you put so much stuff in, he doesn't know how to actually color it with color. It's a problem. The more line work you have, the less color you probably need. I think that's why I like, books like, I think the book that did it the best, it's just my 2 cents, but if you want to see a ton of noodling that's colored really well, just start with Spawn issue 50 and go up to issue 100. And you'll see what Brian Haberlin and Dan Kemp and them did with all that noodling.
Marcus G says it feels like Adam West Batman. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It has kind of like a 60s, 70s campy vibe to it where it's not like B movie bad, but there's this like I don't know, this pacing to it where I'm just like, is it supposed to be like an old 60s show kind of feel? So I don't know. I watched the Squid Game. I hated the last 5 minutes of it. Like it was fine, it was entertaining, but that last 5 minutes of it made me hate the fact that I watched that whole series. Made me want to punch the series in the face. Wasn't happy. Not happy. And yeah, you're right. I was saying about color shading. Okay. The Hunter says the original anime was very jazz inspired, so it might be intentional.
Yeah, the composer came back. Look, whatever it is, I just prefer the animation. I don't think anime works good in live action. The closest I've ever seen it is Speed Racer, and even then they made it look like a cartoon.
Right.
So it's like, just make it into a great cartoon. I don't think live action makes something better or more real. I don't want to see Arcane in live action.
No.
I don't look at that and go, man, imagine if this was real. Like, no, I want to see something that doesn't exist in real life.
Right.
That's what I love about drawings. I don't want to see Aeon Flux in live action. I want to see Aeon Flux be given the budget of Arcane and fucking Attack on Titan and Madhouse, and you know what I'm saying, Brandon?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Hunter
I'm not interested
says,
in like live action Street Fighter.
"Oh
You
no,
know?
not at all. No, give me Street Fighter Alpha from the
Or
'90s
Street
any
Fighter
day."
3 that looks like, you know what I'm saying? That just looks all super well animated and it's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Makes me
Hunter
want to get up and
says,
draw.
"Yeah, don't spoil it. I'm almost done with it. The Squid Games. I won't spoil it for you. I'm just saying. I personally hated the last 2 to 5 minutes of the show. It made me very mad. Maybe in the last 20 minutes of maybe the last episode. I mean, I never watched the what was that Game of Thrones that everybody got pissed off about the last season or the last episode. That's how I imagine I felt.
You follow Hard Drive Mag?
Uh-uh.
They're the Onion for video games. They're
Oh,
really
okay.
good though. They're really good. Like, I think they're better than the Onion. That's how good they are.
Oh,
And they
wow.
did one today. They're like J.R.R. Martin. You know who he is, right? He
Uh-huh.
wrote Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
the novels. J.R.R. Martin enrages fans by standing in front of a series accomplished banner, and he put him on that fucking aircraft that George Bush sat on, was mission accomplished. It says series accomplished.
That's funny.
It's like so good. I never would have thought to link the two, but that is so fucking clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Hey, you know what they should adapt to anime? Fucking Night Court.
Night Court. I haven't seen that show since I used to see that show because I raised mostly by my grandparents. They would have it on, and I'd come into their room and I'd see that it was on and shit. Fucking with fuck, what was it? I can't remember, but I
Dan
remember Night.
Larroquette,
Yeah, Night Court.
Bill Maul, whatever,
Oh,
Bill Maul,
I'm gonna run to get my
Marshall
water.
Warfield.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna run to get my water. Gotta fill it up.
Why don't you put a webcam so we can see you drawing? Because I don't feel like having a camera on me while I'm drawing. I leave the lights on in the dark. You wouldn't see me anyway. If you'd like to see me, tune into the MakingStarWars.net podcast. Every day I have a camera on me. But I draw in the dark, my friend. Hmm. Overlay.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah.
Was I missed?
Suro wanted me to turn the camera on and see me while I'm drawing. And although it's a great suggestion, I'm like, it's dark in here when I draw. I don't want the lights on.
All right.
Like, it's mean. I like to live in the dark. I keep waiting for Cobra Kai to turn into Power Rangers, Brandon. Like they're
Not
just
gonna
gonna
happen.
form. They're gonna form the Cobra Lord. You know.
Yeah.
Zordon's gonna recruit them all.
I mean, good luck with that.
Could happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying it couldn't. Anything's possible when you believe in it.
You sound like those people talking on the loudspeakers at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, can they earn a living wage? Is that possible? Disneyland?
Nope.
Escort him out the park.
Oh, I forgot to check. Did what's his name? Terry? Is it Terry Fleece? No. We were talking about his Kickstarter the other day.
Jeremy.
Jeremy Fleece, right?
Yeah, Jeremy,
Trees.
yeah, Jeremy Trees. He got over the 10,000 mark, got up to almost 11, and then two dudes backed out and brought him back down, and then it's back over. And I really don't like when people make giant Kickstarter donations and then back out in the last fucking few
Yeah.
hours. It's like, I really don't. I think people do that because they want to get them over a number. You know,
Yeah.
they're the guys. I'm the booster. I'll help get over the number, and then when I leave, everyone else will. Like, it's just so fucking stupid. I've had it happen to me a couple times. That's why I would refrain from putting giant Kickstarter amounts in.
Yeah.
Do you have any character design tips? Man, that just depends on your client. A character design tip for Overwatch ain't the same as a character design tip for Crash Bandicoot. Very difficult. I would say know your shape design, know your gesturals, you know, and if you're designing for 3D, know your material design. Materials are as important as shapes. Everything I'm doing here is really shape design. You see, they're making a animated gorillas movie over at Netflix.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, The Gorillas with the Z. Rhymes with
Is
NFT. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, is wondering if Jamie Hewlett.
Yeah, they're all involved.
Oh, okay.
They just felt that it could never be done at a studio because of they'd want to turn it into something more commercial, but they don't want to. They want to do the opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good fit for it.
Good. I mean, Jamie's art's awesome, so sure it'll look cool. Or not. Who knows?
You've been hanging on me too long.
Right. Right.
It's definitely a me thing right there.
Right.
It'll fucking suck.
Yeah, fucking bomb. Whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect
We'll
my
definitely
life
be.
any.
We'll probably be talking about it more if it's horrible. Like that's
Yeah,
the kind of the
right.
sad truth. It's the way it works. Surprised they haven't done a girls' cartoon sooner. I'm glad they haven't for that exact reason.
Yeah. Hunter says, I love Jamie Hewlett's art. Tank Girl's one of those comics I'd rather just look at than read it. Yeah.
The writing in the new Trank Girl's been pretty good. The artist who does it, I think they're really good.
I didn't know they
Yeah,
put
he's been
out a
doing it
new
for a
Tank
while.
Girl.
They're pretty good, man. He even does a whole retro look to it too. It's really good. Very good.
I just
It's
started.
like it looks like the way you'd want Girl Scouts to look.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's a new. I don't know. I'll look it up later. I picked up this random manga the other day, and I haven't finished reading the first volume, but I like it's called Hell's Paradise. Pretty good if anybody hasn't read it or hasn't heard of it. It basically these bunch of murderers are being sent to this basically heaven on earth place to get this elixir. So it's just a bunch of basic crazy killer type people going to an heaven on earth to mess some shit up. I don't know how to explain it. It's fucking weird, but I like the art and the story so far. So I don't know. Random manga of the week for you.
You'll never catch me reading a book. Huh.
Huh. Ooh, I just thought of a question for you, but I think I'll wait and save it for the mega show.
Well, there you go, Brandon.
Saving that one. I got a dumb question for you, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
What's one thing
Mm-hmm.
that you, from when you used to be a fat kid, you sometimes crave, but you know it would fuck you up right now? Like you're like, man, I'd like to eat that, but it would just wreck me. It would just not. My body would hate me.
Why? What are you going through?
I don't know why. I don't know why, but
Uh-huh.
right now I just wanted some McDonald's chicken nuggets with the barbecue sauce. Basically cardboard and sugar. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why. I haven't had McDonald's in years, let alone since I started that intermittent fasting. But McDonald's in my body, no, especially chicken nut. But it just popped in my head. I was like, man, like a 20-piece chicken nugget right now and a Dr. Pepper. it would wreck me.
Well, congratulations, sir. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I can eat whatever I want. I just don't care for. I don't know. Something I enjoyed when I was younger, maybe that I would never eat now. Maybe
Taco
that
Bell?
might be. Huh? I mean, it's just you just don't feel satisfied having eaten it. So what's the point?
What was your go-to when you're working those security night job?
Well, when I was working security, I wouldn't allow myself to eat between midnight and noon. That's how I was. I didn't realize I was doing intermittent fasting 20 years ago. That's why I was laughing about this. I did this once. I used to do this, especially when I came back from the army, because I was so afraid of getting fat with American food.
Yeah.
So, but before that, before the army, when I used to really eat, whoo, them's were the days. So my snack I'd have before lunch was a king size Snicker bar and a Coke.
Jesus.
Yeah, my breakfast was Burger King to biscuit sandwich with bacon and large hash browns. Or I'd go to Jack in the Box and get that. Jack in the Box has that like triple cheeseburger thing you can get.
Yeah, the ultimate or something.
Yeah, I'd get that for breakfast. I used to really fuck it up, folks.
Yeah, man.
That's breakfast. Then I have. I usually get for dinner. Sometimes I get like a carne asada quesadilla, and you can get donuts because we had a 24-hour donut place. So I'd get.
God, fat ass.
It's one day, my friend.
I know. Hunter says, I'd say White Castle. White Castle is the worst thing you could put in your body. I've never had White Castle, honestly. Well, one time at work, my boss bought from Costco like a microwave box of the White Castle burgers, So it was the White Castle brand, sliders with the onions or whatever, and they were greasy as shit, even those. So I bet the real things were just greasy.
So your work is so amazing. I learned a lot from. Oh, well, thank you, sir. Yeah, anytime you have a question, feel free to ask. I mean, it's hard to give general statements for art because there is no one statement that works for all art. That's the reality. Like most YouTube channels don't tell you that because that's not how the algorithm works. But the reality is that there isn't. So if you're trying to do cartooning, it's different than if you're trying to do, you know, like League of Legends models.
Yeah. Jamie says, "Thank you for your service."
No, don't. No. I didn't fight any wars, guys. I was in the army before. It is what it is. The sad truth of it is in this country, if you're stuck in a really shitty situation and you're 19, the only way you can get out of it is the military. So I went. I did it. I'm glad I did it. Glad I don't have to do it again.
Right.
Yeah. I literally got out right before 9/11.
Oh, excuse me. Hunter says, my grandparents always took us to White Castle all the time. You'd feel sick eating them from how greasy they are. Oh, I bet. I had Sonic today for the first time in years, and they had this thing called a garlic butter burger. I got that for lunch today.
Why?
It has bacon, grilled onions, and this garlic butter sauce I tried on it.
I would never eat that.
I just was like, because I had to go to the doctor, and then I was driving home, and I don't want to cook anything because we're cooking in 2 days. So I was like, what can I get? And Sonic was right there, and I was like, oh, I want some tater tots and a limeade. Why not? And I was like, oh, I'll get a burger. It wasn't impressive at all. But that was pretty much my one meal for the day, and it wasn't too hungry later.
Yeah, sounds very fun.
Jamie said, tacos bell. I like eating it, but I know I shouldn't. I know it has a lot of salt in it.
Yeah, it does.
Ciro says, yes, I know. There is no specific way to practice your art. Everyone has their own art and practice style. Hunter says, sounds awful, but it made me hungry.
Yeah, Brandon's style is to just keep doing it until I get tired of it, and then I help him.
Hey, TikTok, welcome to Cap or Fact, where we test the theory of... Yeah, that's true.
You want to argue with that?
No, that's what I was saying. It's true. There's no argument there.
I tell Brandon I'm never going to help him again, and then after a couple months, I'm like, fuck. He's gone and forgotten everything I tried to help him with.
It's a good base start. Like the Spider-Man wasn't that bad. It just needed some help. Need a little love from Rob.
So little love, you don't want to start it. Just a little tweak. So little a tweak. I don't want to deal with that right now. I'll go and start something up from scratch.
Well, the Electra's not from scratch. That I started a while ago. But yeah, I mean, I just opened up the Spider-Man and I'm looking at all the the basically notes or whatever you want to call it from us going over shit, and I was just like, not tonight, not tonight, not tonight. No, not tonight. Today wasn't a good day, so it's just not a tonight kind of thing. That's a for another day.
Part of me is I don't know.
Fine, I'll take the lead on this one and help you draw, Rob. God, I gotta do everything. You guys have no idea how many times I've had to bail Rob out with art. He's hit me up. He'll be at this working at a studio, and he's like, "Brandon, I need your help."
Go do my thumbnails. Right, Brandon?
Yeah.
And you're like, you thumbnail, make the art.
There you go. That's exactly how I sound. That's to a T.
Make me do thumbnails.
No thumbnails. That's crazy, man. It's like I'm there in your room. Nobody makes me do my own thumbnails. Yeah, I can answer this one perfectly. Hunter says, any of you ever do art challenges? Anytime I'm ever trying to do art, it's a fucking challenge for me, Hunter. So yes, every day that I try to do art is a challenge. So I don't need to enter any other kind of DeviantArt or Twitter challenges to test.
I did one once, and I caught the ire of the entire fucking incel internet, bro. So I'm not. I always said no. I'm not doing it. I don't do challenges. I don't do art draw offs. I don't care. But Scott Campbell wanted everyone to redraw that Black Cat cover. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I do my take on this? And I just caught too much shit for it. I'm like, fuck this. Never doing it again.
Hey, what was worse? The shit you got from that Black Cat, or when you got blacklisted for that Kickstarter you did for the Marvel shit?
Well, the blacklisted thing is worse, Brandon, because it keeps me from working.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to bring it up.
Thanks, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Huh?
I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Hey, I own the Iron Man from that Kickstarter. It's right here on my wall to my left.
Yeah,
right now.
well, 15 other people own the NFT of that Iron Man from the Kickstarter, so fuck off.
I can touch it right now.
Sucks to be you. I sold it to 15 different dudes.
Yeah. I have the physical, real painting right here. From Rob's paintbrush to my apartment. It's right here. I'm looking at it right now. Hey, Iron Man.
Yeah, it's complicated, but essentially Marvel legal. See, Marvel used to have one t-shirt company that they would do official licensed art from. Well, now they do that through a bunch of companies. And anytime I go work for a t-shirt company, Marvel legal finds out and then tells them not to hire me. So I lost a whole career thanks to Marvel's legal team.
Yeah. That's shitty. Hunter says, "Okay, Brandon, what was the most hardest challenge you ever or you faced drawing, if you can remember?" Anytime I've ever had to make anything for Rob, that's that's a challenge. Anytime Rob's like, "Hey, man, here's your chance to shine," I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck this up." So
The hardest art challenge when I gave him a job in our art department, he had to quit in a week.
yes, that was.
I got Brandon a job at a t-shirt company before they figured out I worked there, and then I got fired too. But jokes on Rob, assholes. Yeah, I've made a lot of podcasts about it, guys.
It started off bad. I'll just leave it. I'll just say this one thing: how bad it started off.
And if you guys are thinking maybe it's water under the bridge, it's not, because my old art director got a hold of me not but a few weeks ago. I was like, hey, I'm thinking about asking to bring you back. I'm like, hey, that'd be great. And they're like, no, no, my work still sells in the highest numbers, and can't do it.
Yeah. Hunter, don't worry if the question sounded whatever. However you word shit, I don't care. I've said worse dumb shit on here than you could ever type. Yes, the worst part of that is when I first got there and the computer was locked from the last guy that just got fired, and I couldn't log in. I couldn't log into the computer, so I had to sit there for 2 hours. And the boss came in. He's like, "Why the fuck aren't you working?" I'm like, "I can't get in the computer." He's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "Because the last guy who worked here, it's his password still in the computer. Like you fired him and didn't change shit." And he's like, "Ugh, fine." So that's how that week started. The first day, the first couple hours.
For you, that was the worst part. For me, was you not knowing how to open Illustrator files because you didn't practice for a month.
I knew how to open them. I just didn't know what a fucking the board was. The stupid boards that he wanted. I didn't know.
I had you doing them.
You had me make the shirt part, but I didn't know the reference boards that he wanted. I didn't know what he fucking wanted. That was the hard part. It wasn't so much that I practiced what you had me do as far as a T-shirt, but then he was like, "Hey man, I need a reference board, like blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Okay, not like that, like this." I'm like, "All right." It just wasn't good. It wasn't good. And I'm not blaming it all on him. I'm just saying it just
Just saying.
I'd say it was definitely 70% my fault it didn't work, and 30% him not wanting someone newer to even slightly help train me with what was going on. So it's whatever. I had no ill will
Well,
against
you would
him.
have been stuck there without me a month later. So.
Right. And I wasn't mad at Rob or the guy or anything. It sucked. The shitty part was I had to cancel my lease at my apartment here in Arizona and pretty much pack up everything because I couldn't leave my. We had a shitty ghetto apartment at the time, and I couldn't leave my wife. Or at the time, were we married? I don't know if we were married at the time. Probably married. Yeah, it's been long enough. I couldn't leave her at the shitty ghetto apartment. Like it was bad. Like even the week before I left, they broke in and stole like my battery, and then they broke into it like a couple days later to steal the stereo. I was like, all right, anything else you want? I think this comment's directed towards you.
Great. I appreciate it, Jamie. More than that, the shirts I created probably wouldn't impress you, but they sold in the tens of like when you see T-shirts online, Mighty Fine, Tees, whatever, they sell in the hundreds. You know,
Yeah.
maybe one goes 1,000. That's very rare. They mostly sell in the hundreds. I've had shirts sell in the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, actually. You know, and it's just it's frustrating. And it's not I dragged something on a shirt and called it mine. Like some dudes put Steve McNiven's Civil War stuff on a shirt and like that's my shirt. I'm like, no, you didn't do anything to it. It's Steve McNiven shirt, really. But you know, it's just frustrating. It's like that felt guys, the shit I've done, and every time I get good at it, the whole industry collapses. You know, I got really good at crash games, and look what we're not making. You know.
Maybe one day someone will tell me I'm a good artist.
I don't know about that, Brian.
Probably not.
I don't know about that.
Whatever. Allison went to my Instagram a little bit ago and gave me a like on my Raven picture. Thanks, Allison.
No. All you martial artists stick together. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No. I think what's really sucks is that I was just a productive part of the team. You know, I was a guy in there that solved problems and didn't create them. Brandon saw it, you know? Like, it's not like I'm just talking myself up. And it's like, I got to be honest, a lot of people getting into t-shirts are not very good artists. So, and they're lazy. So you're dealing with a lot of, half the time you're like, is that cat even producing? You know?
Right.
And it's cutthroat. Like, there are times you have to create. They'll be like, "Hey, we got this license, but we got no images, no logos, no nothing, and we need fucking 20 designs by Tuesday." And it's like Monday, you know. We got to sell these things to Old Navy, and so like conjure up something from nothing.
Sounds about right.
I had to do with IGN. I told them to go get Fortnite before Fortnite was a thing, bro, and they were like, "No, we want IGN."
Yeah, I remember that.
The owner's kid said he likes IGN. I'm like, that isn't a license. That they're barely a news reporting site. I'm like, get Fortnite before Fortnite was the thing, guys. I told him to get Rick and Morty when the first episode. Get this now. They
Yeah.
didn't listen. They didn't listen. I told them 2011. I said I buy this stuff called Sriracha. We should get this and put it on a red heather shirt. They were like, no, we don't want to deal with it. So I went to some other company and I went to Target. Guess what was the number one selling shirt?
Hunter said, "All right,
You know
Brandon.
what my idea? They've never done this. They've never done this, Brandon. My idea,
Uh-oh.
and it's been I've had this idea since 2006.
You sure you want to share
I'm
this
like,
and lose all of the money?
yeah, I don't give a shit because good luck dealing with it. I said you guys need to get a hold of the Kingsford charcoal people. All right, you know
Okay.
Kingsford charcoal.
Yeah.
Got those all those bags, right?
Uh-huh.
And just sell a Kingsford shirt with a bag of charcoal for 4th of July. Do you know how much you'd make?
Lots of money.
You have to understand, like when I went to this t-shirt company called Logotel in 2007. Small company. I went from a big company to a small company. This company pretty much made all their money from October to December. Peanuts. Charlie Brown.
Uh-huh.
The Charlie Brown holiday table at Macy's and Mervyn's and all that stuff is what would sell. And I'm like, so if you have a specialty niche holiday fucking item that can do 50, oh, I said, don't keep the Kingsford shirt. Do it on like a navy, navy heather or something, or royal heather. But take it out of circulation. Just sell it with the bags of charcoal. Boosh. And every time I talk, like, well, we don't want to deal with the Kingsford people. You have to have your own. I'm like, then you lose.
Yeah.
Someone will do it.
Oh yeah. Someone will. Just you won't make the money.
Oh no, that's for certain.
Oh man. What was your favorite shirt you've ever worked on, or made, or put out, or like you were like, "That's fucking. I'm glad I made that one."
The one that never. Well, the one that actually was successful, or the one that I liked is okay. The one that was successful was, it's based off of Mike Diodato drawing a cover,
Uh-huh.
but I had to like really fucking make it work. I'll show you. They had this foil program in 2005. You know what foils are? Like foils on shirts.
Yeah.
And they had like it was a trick because they're like, we can only go so wide by so tall, and we can only do one color, but we need to make this work because if we do it, the upside's so great.
Yeah.
Everyone produced 15 shirts a day. I produced one, and it's the only one that ever sold. I think at this point it might be the highest selling shirt of all time.
Oh wow.
It's definitely up there. Let me see. Here. It's this shirt. Oh. No, we don't get commissions. We didn't get raises, Max.
We
We
don't.
didn't, we didn't get bonuses. We didn't get
We.
anything. I tried to get them to get me a new Cintiq, but I had to buy my own equipment. It's this fucking shirt.
Oh, I've seen that in the store.
Yeah, that one. The Spider-Man with very little webbing and no logo.
Yeah.
That one. So it's based off the Mike Diodato thing, but I rotated it and I had to redraw the whole thing, so it really doesn't line up much. Only reason why I did it was because they wouldn't let me create my own. Like I had a very similar layout I wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
My idea was at the end of these cartoons in the 80s, Marvel had the CGI Spider-Man that would drop. It was all chrome.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was cool. And then there was this commercial I remember from the 80s about Pontiac where they would paint a diamond. And I was like, it'd be cool to mix the two. It's weird, right, to think like
Yeah.
that, but that was the way I thought. So that's it. That's the one. That's the one that went a million places. They've tried ever since to rekindle. It doesn't. Just that's the one shirt does the fucking thing. I remember I called a shirt Revengers once, way before that was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they clowned the name. Then in Thor, it will be the Revenges. I'm like, all right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm overthinking this right now, but that's because I'm uncertain about the process. So t-shirts for mass market aren't the same as what you see online. You know, what you see online works for online. They don't cross over. When you need shirts to sell in the 15,000, 30,000, 50,000 shirts, it's very different. You have to really get to like, you have to get that person who goes, "Oh, that shit's dope. I remember that," or "That's fucking cool." And it can't, you can't have them stare at it too. If they have to really look at it, it doesn't work. It's so weird.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. Max said it looked cool. Hunter checked out my Instagram and followed me. Thank you, Hunter. Appreciate it. And Jamie says, yeah, I seem to notice that the symbol drawings sell a lot in stores.
Sometimes, I mean, it's just a trick. And you kind of have to fail at them like a million times to kind of like build. Do you remember in the 80s the shirts when you would touch them? Yeah. So I brought that up in 2007 because SpongeBob SquarePants did one, and I wanted where he got sunburn and he would change color. The thing is, that thing where everything changes color tanked the entire industry, Jamie. Like they told me, they're like, yeah, we'll never do that again. Um, it cost so
Jeez.
much and it sold so little that entire companies were shut down on it. They tried to bring it back a little bit
Mm-hmm.
um, during Amazing Spider-Man. We did some test shirts with it for like the Andrew Garfield stuff with the lizard and shit. Here's the problem: when you're wearing a thermal shirt that changes based on heat, you know where you sweat most? Your nipples. So what
Jeez.
happens is on the guy's shirt, you got this color change right where your tits and pits would be. You know?
Good to know.
Yeah. Hypercolor. Yeah, it's hypercolor. Thank you. Hypercolor killed most of the industry. It's a giant wash.
Sounds like it.
You should have seen the look of fear in their face when I brought it up. These were older dudes at the time. Who were like, we were
Yeah.
there. It was horrible. You don't know. Never utter the name. So, but I've had some winners that have gone places. The one that was funny to me was this one. Hold on, because Eric Larson commented on this one. He retweeted it,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "He fucked up the art. He changed the stuff." No, 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 no. And I had to go in there and go, "Look, man, why did they remove the background?" I'm like, "Because the thing at the time was photo backgrounds with the character." I'm like, two, I had to change the art because your art would not print as it existed. Like, so I tried to change it while remaining as faithful to the original art as possible.
Right.
That is very difficult to do, especially when certain people, them, have an opinion about everything, Brandon.
Yes.
So like I was over there, but yeah, having to explain them. There's a red wraith, and then this is older stuff. I'll show you the one I like. The one I always made that this never got approved was this one. I own a bunch of these. I made them up for myself. This is the one Lucasfilm told me they don't want skulls associated with Star Wars. And I actually wanted to do the arcade screen in here, but they told me we didn't have the rights to it at the time for whatever reason. So I had to recreate something like it, but I couldn't do the actual arcade. Now they have the arcade screen. So I'm like, thanks, guys. And that one I actually drew. Whatever. Yeah. But I don't do it anymore because I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to.
Max loves the Star Wars ones. And Jamie says Twin Peaks would be perfect for those kind of shirts.
It's a damn fine cup of coffee. Here's the problem: there's no Twin Peaks fans. There are. I know, but not the one that will sell 10,000 shirts.
Right.
Maybe if it said Twin Peaks. Sad to say, that might be like Dunder Mifflin. That's the only office shirt we ever got to sell.
Right.
Was the one that said Dunder Mifflin. It's the only one. And you know what? Sometimes that's all you need. You pay 13,000 for a license, and you're able to get it to do one thing at the level. Then that's it. What sucks is when they try to make everything be like, it'll be like Marvel. We'll just keep doing it again and again. I'm like, not everything is Marvel, man. Can you imagine hypercolor pants? I know right where it'd change color. That's why guys won't wear it.
Oh, Jesus.
You know? I remember once I got this package from Universal. This is 2006. And they're like, we got the Blues Brothers license. I'm like, all right, that's fucking dope, dude. And they're like, okay, we can't use any of the likenesses. We can't use the hats or the glasses, but it can say Blues Brothers.
Right.
I'm like, what are we supposed to do with that? They're like, make the shirts. Good luck. We got all these Adam Sandler movies, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. We weren't allowed to use any Adam Sandler likeness or quotes, just the other characters. And not the Norm Macdonald characters. So it was all Carl Weathers. Like it's like all chappy shirts. Alligator. I made a t-shirt that says doing the best I can, and then for some reason I got my account from the site turned. The algorithm strikes again. Maybe like a shirt that will. Yeah, well, the sad part is in men's shirts, men don't tend to buy any technique-driven shirts. So they just don't. They buy gimmick and comfortability. That's it. Nothing much has changed in 20 years, as far as that's concerned.
Did you read Jamie's comment? Or you just read Hunter's?
Make a shirt like a mood ring that change colors with your mood, but costs a lot of money to make something like that. Yeah, it would cost a lot of money, but the reality is, beyond the money, is guys just don't buy technique-driven shirts. Maybe one day it'll change. And you'd be like, well, no, it changed. All right, well, then it changed. But as of right now, I have a lot of friends in that industry, and nothing's changed.
Right.
The trick, I think, the closest I've ever seen to what it's like to do mass market retail as a designer is the movie 500 Days of Summer. You ever seen that movie, Brandon?
Mm-hmm.
He worked at a Hallmark card store. Like, remember they had to come up with the cards, with the
Right.
clever thing and the little. That's exactly what it's like, and it's kind of dumb. Like, you have to kind of like you can make something cool, but a lot of times you're making dumb stuff.
Right.
So a lot of people just go, "Oh, this is dumb," and they all want out of it. They want to go somewhere else. I, on the other hand, was like, "I'll sit right here and then work on my own comics." You know, earning a
Yeah.
steady living. But it took that away from me. The only reason why I even did that Kickstarter was because I asked them to buy a Cintiq for me because the Cintiq I bought to do my work. I had to buy two Cintiqs, and the Cintiq I bought for work broke. Like it just busted finally, and I don't want to spend $2,000 to have to make them more money. I'm like, I've been here long enough. Can you buy me the Cintiq? And they're like, you don't need it to do your job. I'm like, I'm making you money. Like, what? So being that I don't get vacation time off, medical. I don't know, raise anything. So I raised that not for a Cintiq. I did that to raise $500, so I can go to a convention to earn the money to get the Cintiq. And the Kickstarter did 50 grand like in a fucking 2 days. It's crazy. And then they got all mad at me. Marvel actually went and tracked down where I worked. It's really great.
Yes.
Real lovely of them. Yeah, Marvel lawyers ain't the same as Marvel Studios. Marvel has a legal team based out of New York. They're actually part of the comics division, really, and they're horrible.
Yeah.
They are pretty bad. They're not good. Totally sucks. But do they bother? How? Yeah, they do. They bother. They followed me to another job, and to this day, no one wants to deal with it. The people that still run the companies remember, and they don't want to deal with it. So that's it.
Yeah.
Why do they? Because they're vindictive. Like Max, these people like I don't know how to describe it to you. They take it personal.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy. You'd think there's got to be something you're missing here. I assure you there isn't. I would just go get a job. I can get the job. I can do the work. I have the friends that have the contacts and the talent that can't do it.
Yeah.
Hubris. Is that the word I'm thinking of? Is it their hubris?
Probably. Why not?
They want you to know your place in the world. And I've had art directors stand up and go, "Well, what if we just have them never work on Marvel?" And they're like, "No, we just don't want to deal with it." Just because of a Kickstarter? Yeah, because of a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because I was under contract. If I was a normal schmo, they would have just sent me the normal DMCA and it would have been the end of it. But they like the power trip. Have you? I don't know, Max, if you're aware, lawyers are evil. Are you not aware of lawyers? They're really not good people.
All of a sudden, there's a lawyer in the chat. Fuck you guys.
I mean, even Saul Goodman's making lawyer jokes the whole show, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of hoping you're making some money with your art. No, what I do is it leads you. This stuff usually leads me to a gig that will employ me for a little while, and then I save my money. So right now we're in save mode. That's it. Until something better comes along. Don't drink and drive. And if you do, I don't drink much. So, and I could go and crank out a shitload of commissions and raise funds, but I think the problem with that is that the work would get worse and worse. Like right now, I did work with a game company that kind of burnt me out. So I'm trying not to rush. I'm being optimistic. Hopefully that will be finished with. And, I appreciate it, Max. Truly, I do. But it's never going to be over. Yeah. Like global warming, it's here to stay, you know? My goal was to hopefully stay at Toys for Bob for quite a while, but that went away, so. Oh well. I don't like the taste of alcohol. I just get tired. So I can't draw. So I enjoy I don't make a real mimosa. I just carbonate the orange juice and put a little vodka here and there, but I'm not a heavy drinker. So. Brandon see me. I have what, half a margarita? I'm toast. Right, Brandon?
Yeah.
I get pretty chill though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You didn't see me like get all aggressive and start punching Brandon. Like that would have been funny. Hey, Brandon. Hey, the Brandon. Brandon. Brandon just knocks me out.
Right.
Like, huh? Later, Allison.
Later. Night night.
So, something turns up, folks. You know, I've been pretty resilient. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to do an art book, but I just was like, I can't get it out by Christmas, so there's no sense in even dealing with that right now, you know?
Yeah.
Doubt I'll make any money on it. But we'll see. Never know.
Hunter says, I'm thinking of splattering white paint to cover up my mistakes on my piece. Why?
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Add a little splatter. That solves all the problems.
Yeah, or just some gasoline and light that shit on fire. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
The Peter Chan way.
I'll let you answer this. I'll read it to you. Jamie asks, have you ever thought about selling their art, which I'm guessing she meant yours, or at like a flea market?
Okay, couple things with that. During COVID, I'm not even going to that actual market, so that's not happening. During before COVID or whatever, my art doesn't sell at conventions. It's not going to sell at a flea market. No, I don't believe in spending money on an art table. So Brandon's been there.
I've been the art pusher. I've shared a table with Rob. I've outsold Rob at a con before. Believe that or not.
Yeah, that happens.
So there's no rhyme or reason. So worst part is I outsold you and then I just turned around and used the money to buy shit from you.
You bought and then you bought an Xbox, right?
I did. I bought an Xbox.
Even
I bought
worse.
I bought an at the time I bought an Xbox, and I think that's when I bought that original Iron Man from you, something like that. A couple pieces. I was like, I want that, and I got that, and it's right here on my wall.
No, I've tried a little bit of everything, folks, and what kind of worked for me is when you see me doing like 5 like little Batmans that I'm doing for like a little bit amount, those work because I can they tend to like they don't cost me but time to do, which I have, and I charge extra for shipping so it doesn't come out. So I make a little bit on that, and I just don't spend the money, you know. But nothing is going to replace the money I could have made at a studio making, you know.
Yeah.
Money's too good. But the crash work didn't come from me applying anywhere. You can't apply for concept art jobs. It came from drawing some crazy crash art, and eventually an art director saw it. So you got to create cool shit, and then hope it gets where it needs. Put it everywhere and hope it gets seen.
Yeah.
And then when they call you, be ready to do the work. You know. Right now, if I got a call, I don't know if I'd be ready to do the work. I have an opportunity to work on something with a, I can't talk about who it's for, but rhymes with Frisney, a project for you know what I'm saying? You guys can do the math. And I don't really think I'm in a place where I want to go through their approvals process right now. You know, I talked to the wife about it. I'm like, I don't think I want to do that after having just gone through a giant round of that with another big company.
Yeah.
I think it would cause more harm to me creatively than it would. So I need some wins before I start doing that. And I'm fortunate that I can do that, you know? Like, I don't take it for granted. But I do think like that game stuff, people would just figure, oh man, that's what you'd be doing forever now. I'm like, no, I think that may be all I ever get to do. It doesn't exactly translate into how many more mascot games. Well, they're making Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, they have all their friends working. They don't need me. You know, it's not quite how it works. I wish it. I wish it was. I wish it was. It isn't. It's like, can you 3D model? You can like maybe model the bullets in our Call of Duty game. No, that's cool, man. I'm gonna pass on that one. What is my dream job? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anymore, Max. You know, I don't know.
He's living it right now. He gets to hang out with me and you all, and that's it. Night Hunter.
I guess right now it'd be great to work with Double Fine. You know, but they don't need concept artists; they need production artists. So.
You know how you were talking about those memes for the Spider-Man trailer with the lizards getting hit by stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I just seen one where it says, you don't need Toby and Andrew if you've got family. And it's Vin Diesel jumping out of a fucking car. Yeah. And there's another one with the fucking Macho Man, you know, because he was Bonesaw.
Yeah, the Macho Man's the one I saw. That was the other one. I was trying to remember the one I saw.
Yeah.
That was the one. The Macho Man's great. But
Macho
it's Bonesaw.
Man. Yeah, Bonesaw's ready.
Yeah, that's what's great. It's Bonesaw. It's not Macho Man. It's awesome.
He's got his chair and everything. Like, fuck, that's great.
Aside from Leo Red. Yeah. My dream job, I had it for a while. It was when I was drawing illustrations for video game magazines and doing graphic novels internally. I mean, I was getting paid to just draw cool video game fan art all fucking day and covers, and when I wasn't being paid to do that, I was working on graphic novels for them. And we were going to San Diego Comic Con, and I was hanging out with Jeff Matsuda and Joe Med and LaShawn Thomas, and the recession killed all of it. So that's never coming back. I loved video game magazines when I was a kid. Nintendo Power, then eventually Sega Visions and EGM and Game Fan was my favorite until Play came out, and to work at Play, I mean that was my. I know it's not what a lot of people think, but that was it.
All right.
Yeah. But them days is gone.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Scratch, 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 scratch.
You draw horror movie characters? No, it's on my list. You know.
You did you did that splat piece was pretty horror.
Splatterhouse, yeah, from games, yeah. Yeah. The problem with the horror stuff is then they're like, you gotta go to horror cons to sell it. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
You know, so at some point I'll tackle it. There's so many things I can do that I guess there's no one of them is going to be the magical key. So I think right now what I have to do is just focus on putting out an art book probably at this point every year until I get it going, then I can move it down to every other year. But maybe at least every other year.
Yeah.
Like do commissions and then do an art book. Maybe do a small little one too, and put in different things, This thing what I'm doing now, like if I did 4 pages of like, my take on Freddy Krueger, it'd be kind of cool to do. I'd have to do something that would never get approved though.
Yeah.
Like I would not draw something that goes, here's the fucking badass. It would have to be something kind of goofy and cool and different. My kids are in the 20s and they're into Pokemon cards. I'm like, Pokemon. Yeah, but I have no interest in drawing Pokemon. So
I'm 36 and I still love Pokemon.
yeah. As an artist, your real goal is to get to the point where no matter what you draw, people just kind of want to own it. Your fans, right? They go, oh, that looks dope. I'd buy that. I don't even like that shit.
Yeah.
Once you get into Pokemon, you got to draw every Pokemon known to man. You forgot Squirtle version 3000, the one from Pearl / fucking something or other.
I've said
It's
this
like,
before and I'll say it again. I hate the way you say it.
what, Squirtle?
No, Pokemon.
Oh, Pokemon.
Pokemon.
It's Pokemon.
I hate it. Pokemon.
No.
Pokemon. Pokemon. Damn you.
I remember telling I worked at Playco in 1996, and I was telling them that was going to be a big deal, this Pokemon. At the time, it was called Pocket Monsters. But they were in litigation over it because a glue-bone monster in my pocket. So they were being like, they had to go through that litigation, and then they settled on they just kept the name Pokemon. And it came over here. I was like, it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be like Tamagotchi, but Nintendo. And they're like, whatever.
The fuck is talking outside? Whatever. I don't have the money because I just bought that Oculus Quest 2, but the new Pokemon, the remake of Diamond and Pearl just came out.
Mm-hmm.
I like the look of it. It's like that when they redid that Link game, the Zelda game with that style, that rounded, very smooth, but I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? The look of it, the shapes and things. It looks cool.
Like
It
the
looks really,
dioramas and stuff.
yeah, it looks cool, and I want it, but I just got the Oculus, so it's like, I can't buy any games right now.
It'll be there.
Yeah, Andy sent me a picture. He's like, you get yours yet? I was like, Andy, I don't. Andy buys every video game as soon as it comes out for every system. I'm like, bro, I don't know how your money. Like, all right. Like, I was like, I really shouldn't have. If I didn't get that Christmas bonus from that lady that I did the work for, like, I wasn't getting the Oculus. She just happened to give me enough money.
And he works at a bank. Go work at a bank.
Yeah, I'm good. Then I can't stay up all night talking to you and Max and Jamie here and everybody else.
That's true. That's true.
Jamie says, I was into Digimon. I wonder if it's the same people that did Pokemon.
No.
No.
It was Konami did Digimon. Was it Konami? No, they did Yu-Gi-Oh! But it wasn't Game Freak. Game Freak did Pokemon Company.
Right.
And Game Freak. And then Nintendo owns like 1% of their company or something. Some shit like that.
I think Bandai did Digimon.
Namco Bandai.
Yeah,
That
Bandai
makes sense.
Wiz or whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or Viz Media.
Yeah, Wiz, Biz.
Viz.
I think it's Bandai, but whatever. Ding. There's a streak on him.
Yeah, I'm colored sampling. So I'm seeing how the shade reacts with the green, and then I'm changing the shade color based on how I want it. The shade color to be.
Fancy.
This is what I was trying to explain to you the other day. You didn't understand what I was talking about.
I understood it. It's just a matter of me doing it as good as you do it. That's another story.
Or at all. Like that's.
No, I want to do it. It's just, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to explain it now while you're broadcasting and it's saved.
I just said it.
I just meant more in depth for the people who are
What,
watching.
you?
Yes, me.
If I want the skin to be warm, a warm shade on that green isn't going to work right here. I want a cooler shade on the green. So, a lot of times, cell shading isn't based on actual global light sources. They're just based on like a local tint, like one that kind of looks good for what you're trying to do.
The Mega Mario 3 says, Why does everyone love Tommy Oliver? He used to be the bad guy. Stupid Vegeta archetype.
Oh.
Because everybody loves a bad boy. Mario?
I always feel it must have pissed off that Billy guy, the guy that looks like you, Brandon. The Red Ranger. Like he probably thought he was the lead guy, and then that went out the door 20 episodes in.
Mm-hmm. Most likely.
He's the only one with the whole team. No, he didn't stick with the whole team. He quit halfway through season 2 because of not. They were being paid like $600 an episode, and it was super dangerous on set.
Yeah.
Tommy had hair. That's why. Right, Brandon. Hair
Yeah.
matters. Hair matters. I could have sworn the Blue originally when they didn't get there. He eventually left too. He stuck around the longest, though. But Tommy stuck around until he left. Her and him. Well, Kimberly left after the movie for certain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she was almost killed. Her and Tommy were almost killed during the movie. They were almost burned alive. She was done with it. I read a whole article about it before I did this whole thing. She even like thanks Saban on her fucking Twitter one day. She was like, "Thanks for nearly killing me. It was really great all those years ago." It's like it's so awesome. Every punch they landed came with power next. Eh. I told you if it were animated, I probably would have watched it, but it wasn't my thing. I was more into Monday Night Raw. That realistic shit.
Yeah.
My dream was to be put Yonan Vasquez in charge of a Power Rangers animated series. That would be great.
One day.
Can't hear you, Brandon.
Sorry, I was concentrating on artwork.
I can tell when Brandon's drawing. I can hear the thoughts in his head. What am I supposed to do?
Right. Whatever, you don't know me.
I know you're kind, though. Maybe they'll make the animated Pink Ranger for his on-screen help. Maybe. My advice with them is to not take it too serious. That movie tried to be serious. It didn't. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Saban's power. Egomaniac.
All right.
He didn't invent the shit. Like, he just bought the rights to something, slapped your name on it. It's crazy. But I knew it would work in another market because it was already successful in another market. It's not the same. Are you drawing the timer? Yeah. I'll go right there.
Wouldn't call him evil. How about just less nice, Tommy?
He chews on twigs. It's got to be evil.
He's a vegetarian. Root. Oh man, I found this. You know how you don't like my septum piercing? I was like, what can I find?
Do you?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. But I was like, what can I
Do
find?
you know that I don't
that
like that?
Rob? I was like, what can I wear for one of the podcasts? And it's too late now, but I just found one. It's a gold ring with a turkey hanging at the bottom. It's like a little fucking. It's a Thanksgiving one. It has a turkey on it.
Well, there you go, Brandon.
And it's too late now. But maybe I'll find one for Christmas with like a Santa on it or some little Christmas lights. We'll see what I can find for you.
For me.
Yeah, for you. That way when I wear it on the podcast, you could be like, ugh. And it's got Santa on it. Santa! Oh, here we go. Snowman, winter, holiday, Christmas.
I told you should hang an air freshener from it.
You said I should 3D print a Spider-Man one.
Yeah, Spider-Man. He can hang upside down.
Yeah. Max says a turkey on your septum ring. Yeah, they got all kind of. I'm looking here, all kind of septum rings and jewelry, and I saw one that's got like a little turkey at the bottom of it, but I wouldn't get it in time.
Well, maybe when you set up your OnlyFans, Brandon. You know.
Yeah, I mean maybe. Got to make some kind of money. I'm not getting a day job. I'm working here a couple times part time at my dad's shop, and that's just on days where he's out on the road and I'm alone in the shop.
Okay.
That's it. That is it. And a little overtime at the other job, and that's it. I'm never doing a clocked in 9 to 5 ever again.
6
Never.
months later. Well, I'm doing the clocked in 9 to 5 again.
No.
I know it's true. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
Ain't
I've
gonna
heard you
happen.
say you're never doing something again, and then you go right up. You're right back to doing it.
That one I am adamant about. Like, I'd rather, you know what? I'd rather sell pictures of my feet online if people would buy it before I clock into a 9 to 5.
Who's gonna buy it?
I don't know. Somebody.
Tarantino's topped up, bro.
I mean, I'll send you the link. Don't worry. I won't. I'll give you the discount.
You could, you should make up your own coin. NF feet.
Yeah, there we go.
NF.
You don't know. Since I have access to all your art, I've been making millions off your art as NFTs, buddy. Sorry.
Sure you have.
Thought you knew that by now. I was like, man, when you said your art was getting
My
janked,
buddy, dude, he got informed that people were stealing his shit. DeviantArt let him know.
Oh, I bet. All of a sudden, you're like,
I'm like, just wait till someone buys your whole portfolio that you didn't sell, and then they DMCA your portfolio because they own it.
right.
You know it's gonna happen, right?
Oh yeah. You're gonna be like, all of a sudden you see me like with a lot of money. You're like, how the fuck did you get all that money? You're like, man, art has been good to me. It's like, what art are you selling? Yours.
And then anytime you put art on a portfolio site, you're gonna have to prove you own your own art now. Well, do you own the NFTs to your own shit? No, it's my art. Well, I don't know. We can't verify it. But I own it. I drew this. No, we don't know. They haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
They just haven't thought about, again, like my buddy was getting it. But this is all about you create the thing and you make what will always happen is people who make nothing will steal everyone else's shit and ruin it for everyone else. Like, and I can prove it. Go to fucking Artist Alley when dudes are fucking obviously hawking other people's fucking art.
Oh yeah, all day, every day. Jamie says, yeah, I want to sell my art, but just not confident, so I keep going back to jobs. You could still sell your art and work a day job.
Yeah, I recommend that, Jamie, having a day job and selling your art.
Yeah.
That was actually my plan, but
Yeah. And the only reason I don't have typically a day job anymore is I worked for my father, which was a very, 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 very toxic and physically grueling job. And I just got so burnt
he
out that,
works in a shop in the heat in Arizona with no AC.
and a delivery truck where I would deliver furniture by myself, up
No AC.
mansions. Yep, no AC. And it was so bad with the fighting with my dad that it gave me high blood pressure to the point where I would almost pass out every day. So I was like, I have to just step away from this. So I did so. And I have a side job. It's not like I don't have a job. I do basically some park and rec kind of stuff. So works out fine for me for right now. Until it doesn't. And then whatever. And then whatever. Go from there.
Until I learn my lesson.
Never that. Never. Excuse me. Well, it looks like you made up your mind on what you were going to do as far as coloring.
It's just
and
easier,
inking.
Brandon. It's trying to make it all work without. It's too much trouble.
Yeah, I know.
There's a reason, Brandon. When it looks good in one spot, doesn't work in 10 other places. You know. Like I'm already doing the math. I'm like, it's just going to be too much trouble.
Makes sense.
I get the idea behind it, but the reality is it's going to be a giant fucking pain in my ass. So it's fine.
Somebody is super fucking loud right outside my sliding door. Like it's midnight. Shut the fuck up.
Plus, you know, I was told to not have lines in my art when I was working on games, and fuck them.
That's the spirit.
I'd rather have fun than do what I think I'm supposed to make. I'm just giving up on it.
Can't decide which brush you like.
No, I just haven't decided if I want a pencil back here or if I want a solid.
Jamie wants to know what's with the chewing on the stick.
You asked me, he's doing it in the fucking episode. Because he's hiding in the bushes and he comes out the bushes and he's chewing on a fucking stick. I watched it. Hey, he gets his power. There you go. That's why everyone like Tommy. He had the stash. I like to think he was getting it from Jay and Silent Bob.
Same universe.
Yeah. They'd go down to Angel Grove, sell him some snoogans.
Sounds about right. I can't prove that it's not true, therefore.
Yeah, they're card carrying union. I love that scene in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back when they meet up with the other drug dealers.
Yeah.
In LA. You card carrying too? Oh shit.
Tracy McGrady and or not Tracy
Yeah,
McGrady, but
it's my favorite part of the movie, probably. Because it's so stupid. I'm like, this could be a whole movie. Like,
I see this meme where the kids from Captain Planet are holding up their rings. This one says joint pain, bills, existential dread, depression, reflux. And it says by your nightmares combined, I am over 30. It's Captain Planet.
Yeah. Feeling it, Brandon?
Some days, yeah. My yeah. Today was rough. Today wasn't.
All right, these are done. No sense in continuing those two. Well, maybe not. Sometimes I'm like, is that readable? I don't think it's readable. Thing is, I enjoy adding this part. I don't enjoy perfecting the lines. I like building the color over the scratch and then cleaning it up, I think overall it's about the same amount of time, when you add it all up. It's just I prefer the way it looks at the end of the day this way. But such is life. Some people ask me, how long is it taking? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Never moves fast enough. I know that much.
Yeah. Jamie says, when my son was young, he was majorly into Ben 10. He had to have every toy and gizmo gadgets from that show.
Yeah, Man of Action put that together. I met those guys at Comic-Con in 2001 before there was a Ben 10. When they first started their Man of Action, they had a booth. I was like, you guys are amazing. Mike Manley was there, a bunch of dudes. And I was like, well, if you got Mike Manley, you're going to win. And I was like, thanks, man. I was like, seriously, you're fucking... Mike Manley's one of the most underrated artists in the last 20 years. Him and Kyle Baker.
I follow T.N. Perkins.
Okay.
He's worked on that as well, Ben 10 on the show. And he's worked on stuff like Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the Avengers cartoon that was really good, and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, he worked on the Ben 10 stuff. So he's always posting either older stuff that he did or new versions if he would, or I don't know. I see that. Big fan of his. I'll tell you who I'm not a fan of. That Sketchcraft guy. Not a fan. You understand? Where I'm coming from?
Get it. I understand. He's got fucking opinions, thinks he knows everything. If he was so fucking... If he knew what he was doing, why wouldn't he fucking have 1 million views?
He'd be more relevant.
Yeah. He could learn something from PewDiePie
or Mega Potato.
Or one of those jackoffs on YouTube that fucking teach people how to draw.
Yep.
Maybe if you taught people how to draw more, Rob, that would be it. Yeah, there you go. You got me. What am I doing? Teaching myself how to draw. I think if I teach myself how to draw, I can make more money than if I teach them how to draw. Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm picky about this. He just needs to upload more. Maybe do less drawing stuff though. Not really. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the drawing's not popular. I should just should get real political. That'll work out.
Yeah, why not?
I should get really angry about video games and just yell into the camera all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're not doing it already.
I know. I can watch myself eat food. How about that? I should get in the tub. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's really easy if I just trace over other people's work.
Yes.
You can get a lot more done that way. No, I want to be the first person. So, normally speaking, you'd want to draw everything and then do the flats, and it actually goes faster that way. But
I love hearing people loud as shit outside my window here and slamming car doors, talking loud at midnight.
that's cool.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
All right, well, I'm going to get that other part colored up here in a second. I need to warm up my tea. How much later are you staying up, Brandon?
I'm ready for bed.
You going to head out?
It just my medicine gets me a little bit right around this time.
All right, Brandon. Quitter.
All right.
What?
That's true.
Is that not being supportive?
No. Plus, I'm getting annoyed.
It doesn't matter if I'm supportive.
I'm about to be that neighbor that goes outside and goes, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I don't think anyone will say shit to me. They'll want to at first. They'll be like,
Someone will.
They'll be like, huh, and then they'll see me and they'll be like, "Oh, fuck you, you shut up."
Okay, man. You gotta be rude about it.
Yeah. They'll get aggressive and they see me and then they go, "Oh, well,
My favorite is when they pull the whole "you're being rude" card when they easily would have killed you before them.
Oh yeah,
They would have been fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 100%. All right, talk to you tomorrow, everybody. Maybe. Mario says everyone on Twitch will miss you, Brandon, because it's mainly just me and one bot.
Mm-hmm. And I always think the bots, don't I, Brandon? But never Mario.
All right, talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, all right.
Later.
Later. I don't really like the look of it, so I'm not gonna do that. I don't really like the look of that either, so it's just confusing. Max is like, I never left. What are you guys leaving me out? Let me see here. First we do a right, then we'll do this all fast. So. I used to be able to just draw 2 pages a week, and have a full-time job. I think once I get going on this, I'll be able to draw and color and letter 2 to 3 pages a week. And that should happen here fairly quickly. So, there's only, how many of these pages there are to do? There's only 4 of these pages, so that's pretty good. That's if this were, there's a big fight sequence, which is not nearly as hard because it's just giant figures. So, we'll get there. We will get there. Let me go heat up my coffee. No, I'm not doing the whole page tonight. I'm just slowly chipping away at it until things get faster. We're in what I call the rebuilding phase, Max. A year ago, I would have been done with this by now. But such is life. Yeah. Well, it's probably best you weren't a comic artist. Can't exactly say I enjoyed it. Like I enjoyed the act of it, but when I was working in comics, it was just a lot of rules and not a lot of pay. When I say not a lot of pay, I mean like it's 18-hour days for maybe making 800, 1,100 bucks a month. Back in the 90s, it was great because there was that boom. So it was like, man, if you do great, you can be rich. But it's just not the case. But there are ways to make a good side living doing independent comics if you stick with it. There's ways to do it. But the problem is you draw something once, you can't just keep redrawing it. You have to like make new stuff. Like yeah, I'm dead serious. Like the majority of comics, the money in comics is made by the the top one, 5% of the industry, maybe 3%. You know. Do you love doing this? I enjoy seeing what I had in my head come to life. So, like, I had an idea for this, and I enjoy when it starts to work. It starts to look the way I saw it in my head. Sometimes it looks a little better. So, I don't know about enjoy. I've always seen art as like a blue collar thing. He might not be the best writer out there, but you put Frank Miller's name on a book and it'll like, he still puts. Hey man, I'm the guy that liked All Star Batman, so I thought it's the first time they actually made Batman crazy. Like he's legitimately crazy. So I think you must otherwise. Yeah. It's a love hate. It's love hate. As if there's anything else worth doing, you know. I'd like it more if I could just settle in on being like, this is how I draw. Here's how I make stuff. I feel like I'm getting there. I mean, it's just a lot of my career has been like, don't do it that way, do it this way. Don't do it that way, do it this way. Oh, we know you're pretty good at doing it like that, but could you do it like this now? Like, it gets really frustrating. So, all right. I'm done fiddling with this. At this point, it's just fiddling. I don't mind a crazy band, but a band that abuses war doesn't make sense. Has his dead parents in it. Yeah, I like that though. Like, it's so crazy. Hey, Jamie. I wouldn't want it to replace normal Batman, but it looks like the Batman. Look, the Batman in Dark Knight Returns isn't our Batman. It's not the Marshall Rogers Batman who one day got older and lost Robin. It's a guy that put Robin through a lot of hell, and the kid fucking was killed for it. So I'm like, that seems like the Batman that would be dumb enough to make those mistakes. I just like it. So I'll take All-Star Batman over anything they're making today. So, but I understand I'm in the minority, Mario. Not a lot of people feel that way. It's like this, Max. It's like I said, I went through a whole thing this past year where I was told to never draw lines ever again. You know, and it's like then I got gutted. Like, should I ever draw lines? Should I just render everything now? You know, by rendering means that you airbrush over a sketch and you make everything look three dimensional. I'm like, but I just like drawing things. Why can't I draw lines? Like, I don't enjoy that at all. I'd rather not ever draw again than go through that. You know, so it's complicated. I always said that two things I always thought would make me an artist was going to art school and being a full time illustrator. You know, working in an art department. And the two things that made me never want to be an artist again were working in an art department and going to art school. It's because they didn't want me to draw. They wanted me to do the opposite of drawing. It was conform to what this will get you the job, that will get you a job. I don't know, man. You know, like if I think maybe if I had just ended up in cinematics and storyboarding, it would have been a better fit for me, I think. We consider doing an original. Yeah, I've done all that. I've sold stuff to Image, and it just goes south. What happens is, in comics, is you have to produce a lot of work in a very short amount of time, and so what happens is you end up just creating a lot of the same stuff, and they use tricks. And I've done it all. What you see me doing now is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Just fuddling around with stuff. And it looks cool, and I'll put it in our book, and I'll move on until some studio somewhere has a gig that says, hey, this would be kind of cool, then I'll go do that. I've stopped trying to control it. You know, the more I control it, the more I get myself into trouble. You know, I've sat with publishers. I mean, I had a friend that was editor in chief at IDW, and he was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to do this. He's like, no. You know, so then they offered me some covers on Transformers, and those sold poorly, but they did offer me a Warblade series, but or Wingblade, Warblade. It's the Geisha Transformer. She's fucking dope, by the way. Um, no, I'm fine. I'm not getting mad at you. Don't think I'm getting mad at you. I'm just never mistake my affect for how I actually feel. That's just me going, oh no, this stuff again, you know. But it's the problem is again that there's a lot of problems with that. So like if you agree to it, then at the time they weren't paying on time. So I'm like, that's like $1,500, 18 hours a week. Who's my colorist? You know, can't get an inker, got to ink my own stuff. But so who's my colorist? Who am I working with? And I couldn't even get like a choice of colorists. And that's a big deal because whoever's coloring your work kind of controls what the output looks like. You know, so wasn't a good deal for me. So I backed out. You know, you have one really bad project, then they go, "Oh, you suck." See, it doesn't sell. Don't hire that person. You know. So what I'm doing here is not feasible in mainstream comics. No person can. The way it should have worked, and the way I thought it was going to work, having grown up in the '90s, was you do pencils, and pencils are fairly loose. They're not super tight things. They're like really intricate sketches. You hand that to an inker, the inker finishes the illustration. That gets handed to a colorist, step and repeat. Doesn't work that way anymore. Not for the majority of artists. Majority of people are mostly doing all their work. They're inking and then they're doing a ton of 3D backgrounds. It's a lot of work. You know. But when you do your own, then you're like, what deal? So a lot of the deals right now are so and so publishes, but you have to like you don't see any money until they get a certain amount back. You're never going to get that money back. Like there's no money in it other than self-publishing. Then you got to go through Kickstarter. That's a whole thing too. Do you produce one issue? Do you produce a whole book? If you produce a whole book, it could take you a full year to make a 52-page book by yourself. You know, how much can you return on that book? You know, it's maybe I've seen a lot of those books, they average about between 5 and 10 grand. Well, you know, 5-10 grand for 1 year's worth of effort, maybe even two, depending on how you do it, is not the best scenario, right? So it's complicated. So what I've done is a lot of these little things that sort of fill in the gaps. I mean, art books can go as high as 50-60 grand if you build up a good fan base. I doubt I'd see that kind of money, but at least then you'd be filling it with like stuff that you did for commissions. So you were paid for the commissioned art, right? And then, you know, the book sales are like a bonus. You see? So like, there's just a lot of different financials that kind of have to go into it. Like, what makes the sense out of a person's time, you know? So when cats are getting all like, oh man, NFTs are the future, I'm like, why don't you guys just pay for art that people are already making instead of conjuring up another Ponzi scheme that's going to tank the entire economy in 5 years, you know? Wishful thinking, but what have your strong experiences? What have been your strong experiences that have been really good? Toys for Bob. I got very few. Toys for Bob was amazing. From 2017 to 2020 was the highlight of my career. That's about it. The first year at Play was fun. Demanding, but super fun. What happened during what all happened? Just got to make cool art. Got to see it published on a regular schedule. With magazines, they ship every month. So if I drew whatever I drew for the magazine, if I drew a cover, if I drew interior pinups, they were on the newsstands 3 weeks later, nationwide. You know, we would go to Comic-Con every year, right in the front. So you know, had a booth. Got to go to E3, get comped free video games. Just get to work on drawing cool stuff. Toys for Bob was great because they were just supportive, you know. I was working on Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Super awesome. Everything else has been a struggle. That's why it's called work, right? Like it's not, say I'm going to play. I wish it were the case, but it's not the case. Yeah. But the play thing will never happen again because the world has changed. And Toys for Bob has since become a Call of Duty studio, so there's nothing to do there. Sad to say. No reason it can't happen again. Some other studio will happen. But what you see, what I'm doing now is how I've gone through making those things happen. I follow my intuition. Every time I start trying to do what I think, this will work or maybe that'll work, I just follow my intuition. Intuition tells me to start doing this. Why? I don't know. I just follow it. Maybe it won't be this year. Maybe it'll be 5 years. The crash thing was I got because I had a hair up my ass to fucking draw Crash Bandicoot for this thing I was doing back in 2012. It didn't get a lot of love, but it was such a different take on the character that, 5 years later, they were like, hey, would you like to come do some stuff? You think different. So what I'm showing here is not my ability to be able to draw a comic. It's to think different, execute different kinds of storytelling. So from this standpoint, it's fun. Wish it would go by faster, but it will. It wouldn't go faster if I was doing this for money. Like if I was really doing this for a publisher, it'd be going horribly right now because they'd be like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. This will never work, don't do that. So I made sure I did one of everything they would not let me do on this. This has one of everything I was told to never do. Just to prove a point. Yeah. What will most likely never happen again is video game magazines full-time and t-shirts, but never say never, right? You never know. Not likely, though. I really think that look, Max, I really appreciate it. I really do. Thank you. I really do. I really do appreciate that. That being said, too, I enjoy doing the podcast. Like, I just, you all need that, like, it's fine. I don't believe in manifesting. So, I believe in producing good work. So whatever gets you to producing good work is the better bet. So doing better now than I was. I gotta tell you though, the last place I worked was horrible. Like, when I say horrible, let's just say they're in the headlines these days. It was really bad. It's not a good situation. So. Oh, his watch is. I see. See, ideally, all these flats I'm doing would be on one layer so I could just sample the ones I previously used. But because this is like a little bit of an experiment, it's all over the place. It's not the ideal situation. Let's see here. What time is it? It's almost 1. A couple more hours. Be honest, I might kill the stream and go listen to some podcasts for my last couple hours. I got to get caught up on Dan Carlin and a Robservation. So you drew this from... Yeah, so one of the things I wanted to do... I'll walk you through this before I I leave here is this is based off an episode of which Tommy fights a clone of himself. So this is like my Ruffy. If he fights each other and then he summons a dragon sword. There's going to be 4 pages of this. So let me see. I'll show you really quick. So 1, 2, 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4? Yeah, so comic. Yeah, but sometimes, I just don't feel like streaming. So let's see here. So this is rough. I still need to work on some of this. Is a little too close together, but it'll have the origin of the Power Rangers, right? This will be the whole origin. And this is how they become the Power Rangers. And then they sort of form the Megazord, and the Green Ranger gets made. Then they'll fight. And then there's going to be a big 2-page spread. Here, this will be a big 2-page spread. Right? Really, it's kind of 4 pages. It's 2 11 by 17s, but all right. And then we'll get to the page that we're working on now, which is which page is that? This one, right? Which is Untitled 6. Yeah, this page. Which then it goes after that fight. Then it goes the creation of the White Ranger, the Green Ranger fight. And then it'll all get wrapped up with. I didn't bother coloring this because I already know what it needs to look like. But this is where the White Ranger defeats the Green Ranger. They team. They go, and then it leads into the movie and Ivan Ooze, and then that's it. So what I've been working on is not the ability to draw it. It's just working out this process of what kind of brushes I want to use, how I want to work on. It's the technique. So, yeah, super cheesy. Super cheesy. Super. Like, way cheesier than Saved by the Bell. Way cheesier. Oh, but. Plus, guys, the streams only go for so long anyway. I don't pay a lot of money, so. We're at the 3 hours, and it's going to quit at the 4 hour anyway, so. Oh, we've done good. We've done good, folks. So. Can't stream anything. I will be back on tomorrow, and then I will not be streaming on Thanksgiving, maybe the day after, but we'll see. But I'll keep working when I can. I'm not working at all on Thanksgiving, so I cook all day. So, but thanks for hanging out, everybody. Max, thanks for hanging out. Super appreciate it. Don't worry, I'm not a depressing guy. It's just there are realities to this industry. Once you get past them, you can figure out how to navigate them. And they're different for everybody. All right. Talk to you later. Peace, everybody.